Alright, I think we're recording, and we are back as promised. Don't worry, the Tarkov launch could only hold me for so long. I got the blinds drawn and everything, but you still might hear those cars. Sorry if you can. Try to fix that up in post. But yeah, Halo 2, we're back. This level, Gravemind, because that's who we were just talking to, the giant little shop of horrors plant abomination, which is the kind of voice of the consciousness of the Flood. And if you generally need a recap on where we're at in the plot, the Covenant got the on button for the Halo, and they're going to try to work towards that.
Down on one of the pedestals near the door.
Yeah, I think it just, when I reloaded, it sent me back to fighting the last couple of brutes left. We love our friends, the brutes. That reminds me, I'll just load up the next graphics set so we can flip between them as we go. There we go. Ooh. This chamber suddenly became very cold, didn't it?
They've locked it from below.
Yes, again,
There's a door at the other end of the
temperature,
chamber.
light, shadow. Even when we're in kind of like weird bluey ethereal zones in Halo 2, I find it to be a very kind of comforting, kind of warm overall visual impression you get, whereas like here we're in like the morgue of the Covenant. But no, this is like a High Council chamber where up there all the fancy aliens sit and the alien pope sits there being recorded by alien TV. If you're talking to them, you stand here. And
Locked it from below.
yeah, this just
There's a door at the other end of the chamber.
gives everything a very different feel. But anyway, what was I saying? Yes, Tarkov launched today. That was fun. I don't think my computer could handle recording that game and running it at the same time, but there's some fun to be had there. Just my brief thoughts on that can be summed up as it's the only kind of online shooter thing you can sink indefinite time into, which I think can be recommended to an art fag. You know what I mean if you listen to me by that. Friends who I talk to artsy things about, I've seen get into Tarkov and appreciate it. Not as in like, ooh, weapons sandbox, strats, optimization, but just like, oh, this is so like cool. It's full of like weird, thoughtful nerd stuff because the guy who made it really cared about what he was doing. And now that it's at 1.0, they've worked in their story bits and such, so the game is more thoroughly built around those artsy showing off elements, and a few changes have been made which have tightened things up on the kind of no fun hardcore people who are just in it as a game types. So yeah, you know, it's kind of a weird multiplayer art game hybrid, in a sense almost like Halo is, but of course Halo, they make a game in two parts. That model held for Call of Duty and a few other things, and yeah, now it all gets hybridized together. And you know, to its credit, Tarkov is a game that actually works that in well. It's a game about collapsing order, chaos, and ambiguity, and, you know, you and the players get thrown into that space, and it's funny what happens. I try to talk to people, sometimes it works. Me and the guy blow each other half away, and then I just say, hey, we don't have to. And yeah, that guy and me, we put it aside and we get away, and that's like the kind of thing the whole game is about. Like the trailers have like guys from different sides lowering their guns in front of each other. Like, yeah, that just happens in-game. Ludonarrative harmony, or whatever we want to call it. Just to say, yes, it's been a pretty fun day. One of the bosses, I had my bullets bouncing off of his head about 30 minutes ago, so maybe that's enough of that game for the day. Don't worry, I'm not going to let silly stuff, which is ultimately just largely, you know, bad video gaming, just kind of compulsion to solve virtual problems. I try not to let myself fall into those holes too deeply, so don't worry. Halo 2 is going to keep going, then rather than go back to the other game, I think tonight I might watch Drive after this if I can be bothered. See how long it takes me to get everything set up. But, yeah. Sorry if that was a bit of a tangent. We're on Gravemind. I enjoy this level a lot. It's kind of a high point of Bungie using the kind of old tricks and quirks of their engine and you know, tricks of scenario construction to make a movie game thing which is kind of alive, really just augment the presentation and do it in a very novel and unique way. That was interesting. When you shoot this guy's little helmet off, it resets his ragdoll for a moment. But yes, these guys are like the, Marines, where you can, like, tap them on the head, and the first time, instead of more damage, it'll knock their little helmet off. And the brute helmet is quite funny. It's a little skull plate to cover their Norwood. And yeah, these guys weren't honor guard. They were just more elite goons who... No, not elite goons. Brute goons. Sorry if I was calling them elites. Who just got called in after we crashed this chamber and completely failed to stop the Prophet. But anyway, let's quickly appreciate Cortana. She looks very anime in this game.
He has the index.
Ugh.
You've got to take it from him.
Jesus, come
Let me
on,
get
man.
these doors.
She looks like a,
Go.
like...
It'll be easier to track truth if I stay in the network.
She looks like an ugly girl cosplaying as Cortana in this. Like, I really fucking hate to say... Well, that was an alright visual. Again, stuff works alright when things are flashing. Oh, she went away out of shame. She heard me. But anyway, yes, like... I really hate to say ugly when criticizing something, but, like, it's just a fact there that, like... You know, she looks ugly, and specifically, like, ugly in an off-brand kind of way. Like, making her look more like a real kind of unimpressive American woman with, like, a silly, dumpy face and more like... I don't know, less impressive build. Like, it makes her less Cortana in addition to being like, you know, on an idiot level you might say like, oh, she looks cute or hot, whatever, better, like a hot anime girl in the original game. But yes, she's also like on point, as I've said, for what she's meant to be, that she's this kind of, you know, feminine aspect of warfare. She's Athena, she is, you know, she is kind of your like idealized mother and sister at the same time, and you're kind of the way she talks, they deliberately work a bit of like innuendo into the lines. You know, she's the woman you're dying for. All of them at once. Everything that that could mean to a soldier, she is like all of that at the same time, and that is served much better by her being the like lean and mean, you know, sharp-faced boss anime woman than by the like, yes, the... I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sure you can remember. Just go back and pause if you've got to. The impression I got looking there, I'd forgotten, but I'm just like, ugh, that's like dumpy 2000s American cosplayer dressed up as Cortana. That's tragic. And again, I don't like to go into that. There is nothing wrong with the character not necessarily being hot, but like, yes, that was just like worse at being a representation of what Cortana is meant to be in this world. And just not nice to look at. Sorry if you were watching this and you were a woman and you looked at that Cortana and thought, hey, she looks like me. Nothing personal. I'm sure you look very nice under your own circumstances when you aren't trying to be Cortana. There's the good Cortana we like. End up being attacked by brutes. Oh, that one's mad. Yeah, here's your, the brutes don't have shields, but you still gotta respect them because they do that. Where'd he go? Did I kill him, or did he, like, freak out and run around a corner? Still in his... Yeah. I think there's meant to be a line from Cortana in this level that might not have played there, where she says, like, look out, he's berserking, to, like, make sure that you understand that that's not, like, a bug, that's a state the character goes into, and that's... Yeah, like the special gimmick of fighting brutes for this half of the game that... Look, special weapons grunts. They've got the cool lime green armor and they're trying to set up heavy weapons. We're not gonna let them know. And another one of these idiot brutes. Yeah, the way they fight I think doesn't work as well with the rest of the Covenant, and I don't consider that bad or wrong. I just think it makes things interesting that, yes, the elites who kind of hang back, they, you know, plink at you with a heavy shield depleting weapon, while the grunts and jackals set up like these guys who just kind of like barrel forward and stand in place with a heavy weapon. Yeah, they don't give off an impression of being well integrated like the elites. They feel like a weird disruption of the dynamic, which of course they are. I just think that the way they show up in the game is very cool. I think they're as good a like weird game twist as the Flood or like, you know, the Mercridia in Myth 2. And the jackal, our friends the jackals are here too. But yeah, we have a vista to appreciate before us now. This level is Gravemind, and it takes place inside High Charity, which is, yes, the flying mobile capital city of the Covenant, which is all of this gigantic Death Star structure around us, built around what you see there, the original structure, which is clearly Forerunner. It is not purple manic like this gun or this platform. There is the clean, coherent original thing, which gets a light shining down on it, giving it a kind of holy impression. And if you think about what that means and all the rest, what we've got is kind of like a giant Covenant super favela built on top of a ancient Forerunner ship, which they use as a kind of engine to haul this thing around. And it is meant to be kind of favela-ish. If you read into some of the lore and stuff, the idea that, like, it's overpopulated with grunts and they have, like, low-level race war between the jackals and the grunts over living space and, you know, who gets what from what privileges from the government. Which is to say that, yes, the Covenant are not harmonious. It's not what Movie Bob says, like, humanity is refusing to get with the program. Smart as he is, Movie Bob doesn't know everything. Like, no, this is very much like a bad, compelled union, the Covenant, and this place is a, like, really deranged, unpleasant shit show, High Charity. And of course we'll kind of see that very soon if you know where this level goes. Oh, but there's Cortana, and we can look at cool anime girl who has her different poses, which, like Miranda, I think they were really pleased with themselves that they figured this out in this game. They love hanging hair, which is a very, like, 7th generation effect. Like, it's also, like, what Silent Hill characters were being built around and stuff, like a lot of Japanese games. In general, I'm always saying I think Bungie parallel Japan very well. Like, they had the same ideas at the same time, and I think there's a great affinity. They could have fit into that industry pretty well. And yes, they also, of course, aesthetically find Japanese things fascinating because they're artsy people who aren't stupid, and just, like, look at her pose and pout there and flip her cool 7th generation rendered hair, which kind of hangs in a, you know, as animated as they could get hair at the time. They kind of make a sheet or a flap that hangs down as one piece, and yeah, honestly, I had nothing against that. It still looks pretty good now. Like, shit, like, I keep comparing Miranda Keyes to Heather from Silent Hill 3. If you haven't looked at that game, just, like, go look at the whole opening cutscene sequence and look at how, like, well realized those characters are. Heather in particular. Like, one friend of mine put it to me when we were last talking about it, that just, when you play Silent Hill 3, when you watch it, Heather just feels like a real person, which I think is really just, like, nailing what's going on. Like, visually it's great. It's not photorealism, but it captures, you know, the reality of each part of the character very well. Like, the skin looks skin-like, the hair is, you know, it convinces me that it's hair. It's acting like hair. It's sitting on the face the way it should, and the way she's dressed, the way she's shaded. All of it is just acceptable. And then, of course, it goes further, you know, like, the inspiration behind the design of the character, and then how she acts. Like, she is mo-capped and voice-acted by an actual American girl who was, like, not that old. Like, the character's a teenager, and I don't know how old the actress was at the time, but, you know, it's like the Japanese was so impressed with her that the character Heather is named after the, you know, basically the actress. She did voice and acted out the scenes. That was a American girl named Heather. And yes, that's just a kind of great achievement of graphics and conceptual realization of the 7th generation, and Cortana as well. Just, you have to think, like, it's not just how she looks, it's realization of the premise, what she's meant to be, this kind of, like, weird, young, old, distant, close, intimate, formal female aspect of war as rendered by, like, Americans who love Japanese stuff and are drawing from that. Like, bleeding edge cool science fiction is like Ghost in the Shell and such to these guys. Like, yeah, look at that, and they nailed it. And then I have to hit you with pain vision, brace yourselves. Ooh! I mean, like, the physique, they did what that girl I was telling you about did to the Evangelion girls, and it makes even less sense here. Like, someone said, like, ugh, where are her organs? She must be hungry. There she goes. And, like, the face and the hair, like... Okay, she has this, like... You know, like... Pardon me. She has this very, like, supreme, superior anime girl look to her, which is... Again, like, all of the ideas come together in that, where she looks like deeply powerful, intelligent, plotting, knowing, and here she's like an insecure, kind of fat American girl from the 2000s who is cosplaying for the first time. And her body, rather than being this kind of realization of herself she makes out of data, looks much more like a bodysuit. I think that's because they made her head more detailed in this weird way of making it more like a head, and so the body then is still just this, like, undetailed, indistinct mass, which makes it look like... Yeah, her head is just mismatched with her body, which creates this weird bodysuit impression. And again, the head, just the characterization is all wrong. Like, you know, Cortana's meant to be a cerebral badass, and kind of... Again, she's like everything that goes through the mind of a man in relation to woman when he goes to war. Here, yeah, maybe the dumpy girl next door is in your mind, I don't know. What do you got to say?
He's moving through the lower levels of the tower. I'll reverse this grab lift. Drop down, try to cut him off.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Really, just step in.
Yeah, like the way she delivers the lines, which does it fit better, like... And God, like, that's so, like, perfectly fitting how, like, AI are in Marathon as well.
I know you're not afraid of heights.
Like, look what she just said, and look at the way she's, like, tipping her head down, like, looking down her nose at everyone, and the way her eyes have that, like, psychopathic squint to them. It's just fucking beautiful.
Fine.
And the data running up her whole body.
Meet you at the bottom, okay?
See, look at her. She has so much fucking attitude. Just what an amazingly realized character. She really is one of the great achievements of Western gaming. And yeah, now look at this. Like, the data just doesn't quite look discernible anymore. They don't want it to get across her precious, fat Midwestern American girl face. Whereas, like, here, it's like right up everything. She is living data. She is a supercomputer that's alive, and again, just look, you look at her face like this and you can't get an impression that she's anything but insecure. Like, look, she doesn't like getting looked at, she's like looking away. The, like, just general, like, aspect of her face and her bearing, they just don't look so intelligent anymore, whereas, like, yeah, this is the cocky teenage Latino robo-duck who destroys you with a look. She doesn't give a fuck, she is, you know, she is dealing the cards right now, she doesn't care, everyone is... No one's got anything on Cortana. This one, anyway. You know, she looks cool, she's lean, her hair is anime, rather than fat girl. I hope I shouldn't really have to explain. You just look at her and it's just self-evident something's gone wrong there. As for High Charity, it's very detail-sparse, which is probably largely actually an Xbox thing, just hardware limitations, they couldn't do a lot, but... Yes, if you look out, it is meant to be, like, city surrounding the ship, and here they make it more obvious in a way I don't entirely hate, where, like, yes, you can see it's a giga metropolis beneath you very unmistakably. But, you know, I think it just looks a bit too terrestrial, like it's a bit too obviously, like, satellite photos with lights on top. Like, look, there are just, like, that's just, like, parks in a regular city in, you know, like the 21st century. It's a bit, and like, the idea that Covenant skyscrapers should look like that, like, that's actually a nice skyline image. I like skylines at night in general, just, again, too, like, late 20th, 21st century Earth. It's a bit too familiar and terrestrial, even if there are maybe only so many ways you can make a city. And I think the overall impression of this shot, which is the most important thing, that being the impression you get looking at the true High Charity in the middle, whatever its forerunner name was, the kind of ship that they built all of this around, it is... Yes, like, it really stands out starkly as something different here, whereas, like, Here they felt the need to like rotate it so we see more complex details and kind of gaming PC-ify it with all these lights underneath, and I think the impression is kind of lost. Like the idea of this is meant to be that there's something radically different in the middle of this city. Sorry, just checking my recordings on. We are, so we're good. Alright, let's listen to cool Halo 2 Cortana and go down. So fucking awesome. Just the way her, like, face constantly goes back to that, like, just tipping her head, looking down, squinting at you with her hair, like, you know, the like, anime Kusanagi hair. Like, they've got that moving, straining the Xbox to its limits with that high tech. Just great. Okay, grav lift. Whee! Yes, it's not showy about it, but this game does have, like, things like that, physics and such going on, and yeah. Unlike when I played Half-Life 2 this year and wasn't that impressed, like, yeah, everything just does what it's meant to do and feels like it's behaving better in this game when they mess with physics and stuff, and yeah, like, it's not like Half-Life 2 where I can really feel them, like, cheating to get the results that are needed.
Slay the demon on sight.
Yeah, just Halo is perfectly able to mess with gravity, friction, whatever, to simulate different effects, and I just think it's very good at doing things like that, and it doesn't need to be showy. Again, this game and Half-Life 2, natural competition in my opinion, and yeah, what you got? Yeah, brutes are goddamn strong. Did you see how much time I spent punching him? It's a good thing you didn't react, or I might have died. I don't know if I stun-locked him, or if it's just normal difficulty. The game had a bit of mercy. Let's use these for a minute. I haven't given the double needlers a great showing yet. Oh, and Jackal's the enemy this doesn't work on. That's super. Alright, we got him. Doesn't matter. Yeah, good thing about needlers is they reload super easy one-handed, so they're actually... That's a pretty strong advantage they have in dual wielding. And, yeah, there we go. Show you guys some needlers in action. These things are all over the place, and they are very strong.
IFF transponders.
Whoop.
The signals are originating somewhere below your position.
Marine IFF transponders. We're going to meet David Cross again very shortly. Get excited. He didn't see us. Yeah, needlers are very fun because they do that. Shield got us. Oh no, I'm actually in trouble. Yes, this is the Covenant Carbine. I've always found it a bit boring, but you know, it does what it does. If they decided that, you know, I guess they just decided there are going to be whole levels of Covenant weapons, and players might find themselves missing some kind of hit scan, so they made what is basically the battle rifle, but for the Covenant. It's kind of lame, but whatever. And yeah, I'm not crazy about the update. I think they tried hard to make it seem very, like, visceral, like it's venting green gas a lot more aggressively, but I'm just kind of meh. I'm not crazy about this gun. Aesthetically, it's alright. I'm not going to call it a failure, I'm just not crazy about it.
There's another lift in the next room.
And there's cool Tana again. What have we got here? Wipe him out. Who's shooting me? There's a guy right there. But yeah, there are scenarios like this in Marathon as well, prisoner rescue and such, and yes, it's just a way that they can get a lot out of simple scene parts. Marines are just there, put them in a place with no guns, have them pick up guns. Just very good. Bungie have always been very good at building movie scenarios and such out of just dropping the parts of their games in a place and having them basically, you know, just act after being placed, not too much scripting necessary. And yeah, brutes are not a joke. Once they start doing their, like, angry thing, if your shield is down, you might be in trouble just because they aren't going to stop. They're just going to power through the damage you pour on, so yeah, like, Plasma Pistol's ability to power through shields doesn't really matter against a brute. He doesn't have a shield, he's just a goddamn Sasquatch who doesn't give a shit about pain. But it's Halo, so one grenade stick kills everything. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, and they're very headshot sensitive with this thing, which makes them a bit... Well, if you... Like I was trying before, if you don't have a hit scan ballistic... If you don't have like a hit scan ballistic or pseudo-ballistic weapon, you can be in a bit of trouble. Oh, you know what works well? When a brute gets so angry, he punches you out of his own reach. Yeah, now what? You kind of misplayed that. And there's a hiding grunt. Very fun. Now, I think Cortana said we go up an elevator. This level, it's interesting. It's actually a fair number of just kind of going through rooms, but nobody ever complained about it. I guess because it's really not that long. I remembered it being kind of a pain as a kid, but yeah, like I go through it now, and it's really just not a level that resists you aggressively. It's just kind of, yeah, move forward, kill aliens, move forward, kill aliens, nothing you can get stuck on.
Here, Chief, jump in.
Sure, let's go. And yeah, what happened to him? That's some visual storytelling for you.
There are 2 groups of Marines in this detention block. I'll zero their locations. You neutralize the guards. Quietly.
Yeah, we'll have a go at that. I don't know if it'll work. Got one quietly, and they know we're here. And yeah, so there are actually Marines in this level. IFF's going off. The Covenant at some point in the war were grabbing Marines and taking them here. I guess it would make the most sense that they were either grabbed by Tartarus when he was going for the Index, which would mean they are people from Miranda's expedition there who didn't get grabbed by the Flood. Or, well yeah, actually, I guess that'd make sense, as far as we know. Well, actually, we're floating above Delta Halo right now, that's right, so also anyone who was involved in that battle. But in general, yes, all of them were from the one ship that Miranda Keyes had, so if you're wondering why there aren't going to be loads of prisoners in this level after, like, the whole war, these aren't, like... In general, the Covenant don't like prisoners. So the idea is that these are prisoners who just got taken in the very recent fighting, and they happen to be here because, yeah, the Covenant moved their capital city above Halo. Because they're about to achieve their religious dreams, so they think. They have an index, they go plug it in, and yeah, then they win. They get their end goal. They get to activate Halo. But we're here to stop that. Come on, die. There we go. Oh, he's got the flag. He's a tough one. And here's our
Listen up,
buddies.
Marines. The Chief's hunting a prophet, and you're gonna help him kill it.
What a cool
One more
line.
group of Marines to go, Chief.
Oof. Also, this room becomes red for whatever reason. Very red. And our Marines become the kid from God of
Sir,
War.
following your lead.
Knock yourself out, Chief.
Lucky me.
These are fun lines, yes. These are... We have like 4 personalities or something for Marines in Halo 2. We got Hispanic guy, we got Australian guy. Alright, let's go, team. What else have we got? Might give them both brute rifles. I don't know if that's the best for them, but we'll give it a try. Yeah, 2 red rifle Marines, that sounds fun. But of course, what I should really look for are beam rifles. I think they use those quite well. But yeah, this level, it's maybe not as long as I thought as a kid, but it still might be a bit of an ordeal. It'll be
Come to the lower level.
It'll be real interesting to see if we can keep those guys alive. I do actually remember last time I played this game on Heroic, though, I actually did a pretty solid job keeping these guys alive for a while. Oh gee, we're not having a great time now.
Join the Covenant. You have to be idiotas.
You have to be idiota. Tell him. He just got owned by my little Mexican buddy. Come on. Oh, I'm in trouble. Nope, got him. Now I'm in trouble. Marines, distract him! Whoa, I shot S.A.'s helmet off. That's not good. He needs that. Alright, so let's look at how he looks in new graphics without his helmet. Probably hideous.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and also they desynced the kind of profiles for personality and appearance. Like, yeah, he looks plausibly Hispanic here, whereas like now he is a like weird Nordic baby man and he's still speaking with the like Mexican accent. Hey, say something, Holmes.
Stay on point, Chief. Here you go.
Oh no. Okay, you guys keep those red plasma rifles and yeah, let's see if we can find the other Marines. They in here? Ooh. Yay. Let's go, cool Tana. Whoop. Did I get him? And as well as I've been saying at a few points, the game is...
That's all of the Marines, Chief.
Oh, we get 5 of them. Very cool. Yes, the game does very deliberately, I think, echo the first at a few points, and yeah, like we had in the first game, we have a Marine rescue mission. Only instead of being an early thing, it happens later in the game.
Fantastic.
Oh, we found David Cross again.
Not a problem.
So yeah, we got 5 Marines, like 3 different personalities between them at least, and yeah, let's see how we go with our 4 red plasma rifle guys and our carbine guy. He can have that to be different. I could, just with a little more swapping, give them all those, but we'll give one guy a different gun, see how he goes. But yeah, 5 Marines, let's see what we can do. This isn't like rescuing Captain Keyes in the first game where at least one needs to get out. No, so this is just, I suppose they're here to help, but we'll see how well they do there. Whoop. Yeah, don't worry team, I've got this.
That's for reach.
That's for reach, there's some lore for you. It is kind of interesting just that they would actually put that in the game when that was, you know, before Halo Reach, the kind of like average Halo player, do they actually understand what that means? Probably not, but you know, it means something to Bungie, so it goes in. And yeah, I did want to show you this. This is the brute shot, just to show you that, again, the idea of like civilizations being defined by their stuff as kind of a very deliberate way to tell you stuff indirectly. It's very strong in Halo, not just across the obvious humanity and Covenant line, but we also get some brute weapons, and all of their weaponry really just goes to point out the obvious, that they are brutes. They are low-tech kind of idiots. Like, they have... their native level of technology is like... yeah, not really beyond where, like, we are at now. That's funny, they're on the central platform, but in, like, a waiting mode, so they just come out to get shot. Whoops, I thought that was taking me up. Sorry, Marines, we're going another way. Wait, where am I going? How do I get over there? This might be why this level felt long when I was a kid. Maybe I was stupid like now and I got stuck. Okay, let's try that. Maybe that isn't the way to more prison cells. But yeah, brute weapons are not energy-based. They are, you know, ballistics and projectiles and explosives because, yeah, very crude mines. They like explosions and hitting you with stuff. Oh, this is the one that goes up. Yeah, my bad. And I'll show you how it works. And they're trying it on me as well. And it's also just a good example of the power of Bungie's engine and how it's so strong at— whoa! I don't think you meant to do that.
on in.
There goes my swarm. I hope we didn't lose anyone yet. Oh god, no, guys, there's a brute up there! Yeah, when you build your game on physics and just let stuff happen, a lot of really funny shit can happen. Like this absolutely deranged teleporter fight we just got into with that brute.
For that they have our thanks.
Hey, Tartarus didn't do that, we did as the Arbiter.
Broadcasting on the move. It'll make him much easier to track.
And these are the old honor guards, the elites, and they seem to be dead. And also, holy fuck, those drones are shooting at those elites. What's going on, do you think? Truth is lying and saying that the brutes did things the elites did. We're finding dead elites in places where we haven't been. And a swarm of drones was just shooting at those elites there. It begins. The whole kind of premise of this level, we're through the little, like, first act of this, which is breaking in, you know, fighting brutes, meeting our marine posse. Now, it's time for the real level to begin. Alright, we use this for a little, this will be our meme weapon for a bit. Yeah, the Master Chief gets to hold a goddamn sword, how awesome. And, oh, more of these guys, alright. Get 'em, Marines. And... look, three-way fight again. Or four if you count the Marines as a separate force to me. Elite Honor Guards, this one hasn't given up his helmet. And they're fighting brutes and drones. You can see the kind of faction breakdown over the course of this level. Over the endgame it's interesting. Allegiances shift a little bit. But yes, you can see here the Covenant are not happy with each other. And yeah, Brute Berserk versus Elite Sword. The Elite pulls through, good on him. You still lose because I'm the protagonist. Whoop. Whoa! Yeah, look out, team. But yes, I really like that they just let that happen without announcing it. Like, it's alluded to and heavily foreshadowed, and then it just starts happening in the middle of a level that, like, yeah, for the Covenant Society, the Boogaloo just got here, you know, everyone's just... Hope you and your militia buddies were prepared, because, yeah, it's happening. The leaders of your society have called on their brute underlings, and now they're trying to clean up. And the hunters have failed to stay neutral.
And in so doing, all our lives at risk.
Jackals, who are they fighting? Who knows?
Thou and fate will keep us safe whilst we find the path.
This is such a fucking awesome level. Just look at him go.
There's an exit nearby. Hurry.
I think elites are losing that fight. And let's just clean up. None of you win, actually. Humanity wins this one. You hear that? They're getting mocked by David Cross. That's what happens when you lose a war to humanity. We send an obnoxious, weird, bald Jew to laugh at you. And yeah, another dead hunter. Who was he fighting? I'm not actually sure. And yes, Truth is kind of operating like Radio Hutu or whatever the fuck right now. Tutsi Radio. He's giving out the, like, cut the tall trees messages slowly, like less and less ambiguously telling his people, yeah, we're killing all the elites now, have fun. And we're in kind of the... oh man.
The brutes now lead our fleets.
Always the beautiful
They
one.
ask for your allegiance, and you shall give it.
That was just a very funny line they threw out there.
The Covenant are throwing down around me.
But
Not to worry, it's pretty sloppy stuff. I guess they never expected a hostile intelligence to penetrate their network from the inside.
oh man, we're losing a lot of helmets as you can see, and everyone looks silly with it off, so we'll switch back, but... yeah, they made Hunter Blood super goddamn bright because, yeah, these guys love their shadow and light contrast, and the ends of our guns are way brighter. I don't hate this, but it's a bit much. But it is kind of interesting, like his gun being like this big light casting thing. That's not bad, and yeah, unfortunately one member of the Marine posse, they're pretty resistant on Halo 2 in normal, but he took a fucking Hunter punch to the face. He's not coming back from that. Okay, we're down to 4 though. Oh, we're already at this part of the level. That's nice. Yeah, these are fucking great on elites, 2 of these. Oop, there's a Jackal sniper. He's rooftop Korean. Rooftop Jackal. He's just defending his business. But really though, this level is... We're in like the middle of the Vatican for the Covenant, so these are like soldiers and guards who are fighting right now. Which just raises a question in my mind that you don't actually see directly, which is... What do things look like in the more like regular civil society parts for the Covenant right now as their like society is imploding in civil war? Like it's actually kind of an ominous image, like the Covenant are having a like very unambiguous race war right now, and they are not a race of like pure soldiers, so yeah, some of them are having a really horrific day at the moment. Like that whole sprawl down there, which, you know, looks like this or that, however you prefer it. I prefer this. But, you know, either way, like, down there it's starting. There are, you know, members of each group who aren't full-blown soldiers, and what's happening to them? Well, as you'll see, their day is going bad, and it's going to get worse. How could it get worse? Wait and see. And look, it's a jetpack elite again. But I think my sword won't work well on this guy. You guys killed one of my friends. He was just sizing me up for a second. He didn't even give a shit about getting shot. Oh no. No, don't get in the way of the hunter. Ooh, you see that? He beam rifled it. See, they are good if you give them oh, never mind. Alright, so 2 to hunters, 1 to that guy. Should I have 2 left? You and another? God, this is, yeah, I think last time I played this on Heroic, I was doing a better job at keeping those guys alive. But yeah, this level we're going through, like, I don't know, what you might call gardens right now, an environment like that, like, basically little set up nature areas within the heart of High Charity, this holy city setup. What am I doing? There we go. Oh god, are you seriously my last marine? Alright, let's go then. See if I can get you to the end. Oh, there's a door right behind that. I guess that's where we go. But yeah, just a really cool level. Like, they don't really... You know, I'm sure they do think, like, okay, make it a game challenge, but...
The Covenant just destroyed 2 of their own ships, and I'm hearing reports of small arms fire throughout their fleet.
Creatures of the Covenant, the path is broad and we shall...
Yes, there you go, that, like, the fleet is attacking itself now. Brute-controlled ships and elite ones. Ones where that might not be clear, they're fighting for it, and... Yeah, just making it very clear that we are just seeing one localized area of this greater thing manifesting. Covenant society is, you know, without that much fanfare if you think about it, like the Prophet of Truth who speaks for their race as far as we hear it, he's just like denying anything is really that wrong right now, but like, yes, think about it, the capital of their civilization is, yeah, full-blown race war.
Slip space rupture. It's
Oh
in
shit!
Amber Clad.
That's Miranda Key's ship, by the way, in amber clad. There it is! You might have seen me noticing that falling out of the sky in the last
No
level.
response.
Hailing, no response. Isn't that odd?
To another tower ahead of our position. I'll keep trying to make contact, but I'm not registering any human vital signs.
Yes, I think they kind of dumbed down Cortana's read on the situation there for the sake of plot development, but, you know, I don't think you need to be a super intelligence to figure out what's happened there. We saw Miranda Keyes get captured, we didn't see what happened to her ship beyond that it wasn't doing well. And now, you know, it was back down on Delta Halo, not far away, and now it has crashed up into High Charity. What just happened?
Hey, less looking, more shooting.
Alright, Australian Marine, it's me and you. Yeah, the Covenant are having a bad day, and it's about to get worse. In amber clad crashed ahead, but that was not Miranda Keyes at the helm. Oop, Spec Ops grunts and 2 regular elites. What are they up to? I guess these particular grunts have decided they're on Team Elite, whatever that's worth. Oh, and that grunt just got grenaded by this brute who has decided, well, yeah, obviously they're the heart of the conflict. Elites and their friends not getting along with the brutes right now. Me and Australian caught in the middle. Come on, what do you got? Don't kill my last Marine, I want to get him to the end. I've got to save one. Hell yeah. Is there a better condition one of these? Yeah, these don't reload, you just pick up a new one. We don't understand Covenant batteries. But yeah, if I didn't clean those up so quickly, they probably would have clashed with the brutes and, oh, yeah, here we go. This is one of those great areas where you've just got, like, duels going on everywhere you look. And yeah, that guy is part of New Honor Guard, and he just beat up a elite. Down there, an elite killed a brute Honor Guard. Those two are fighting now. Me and my guy will just clean them up. Yeah, those samurai helmets they wear are pretty strong. Kind of halfway covers the great brute weakness, which is that, yeah, their, like, unshielded heads can just get wiped out by accurate weapons. But yeah, I just remembered there's a myth level in the first game where the kind of bad guy faction fall into a civil war. Less complex than this one, just two, pardon me, generals who hate each other start fighting. It's quite entertaining. And yeah, it's just something that Bungie realized they could do very easily with how they construct games, create these, you know, at the same time, dynamic challenges. Especially in Myth, there's like a whole level about luring rival enemy groups into each other. But also just a way of creating a story that unfolds under its own momentum and energies where... Oh, wait. They're bracing to fight. Yeah, incoming brutes. Yeah, just the game unfolds under its own power. You just kind of have to... If you've built robust parts with robust behaviors, then... Yeah, like, you don't need to, like... You know what I'm saying, I've just tried to put it a dozen different ways. How do you do the Elite Brute Civil War? You could make a cutscene that says this is happening, or you can just put your Elites and Brutes in a level and, you know, in their internal logic, just have them each have their priorities tagged so that the other is an enemy in their mind. And you do that, and you get really fantastic, sophisticated, dynamic results, which... Yeah, sell the impression, for one, in a way that only video games could, and for another point you might say, it's just much cooler this way than anything else. I don't know, they had talented people, I'm sure they could have made a very cool cutscene to set this up, but yeah, I love in-engine cutscenes, and even more than that, I love stuff happening during the game. I'm not going to go and say like, oh, that's a rule of good game design, you have to represent everything in the game. Games are just tools. You do whatever the hell you want in them if you're making one yourself, but... Yeah, Bungie decided to do this for this level, and I think it's fucking awesome. Let me have another paranoia check that I'm recording, and yeah, let's go. Australian Marine might have despawned at a load trigger I hit twice, or he might have died, or he might have just gotten stuck, I don't know.
Rise, Pack Brothers! Cast down the elites!
Yes, there we go.
Who said this day would never come? What have they to say now?
And yes, that's a nice kind of...
Once the towers are cleared, we'll drive them from the lower districts!
That's a very nice, like, double-edged line, the prophet saying, people said this day would never come, and yes, like, at the same time, it's... You know, it's meant to ostensibly be the kind of victory day for their civilization, but in practice, what's actually happening, it's a goddamn, like, apocalypse for their entire society, civilization, way of life, relations with each other. It's all coming down. And I'm sure they didn't see that coming. Got an elite hovering there. Gee, they cleaned up those drones pretty quick. But I've got this thing. Poor elites. But yeah, this game is really so, like, if you think about it and break it down into different bits, it's really remarkable how this game doesn't lean on what were the core elements of the first game much. Like, how much of this game actually consists of the Master Chief fighting the classic Covenant lineup? Like, really barely any. They give you that, like, opening scenario, which is, like, there to convince you this game will be Halo 2, you know, Halo again. Like, the Covenant are back, the stakes are raised, and you and your cool human soldiers have to get into tanks and warthogs to fight them. The elites and the grunts are here, and, you know, for a slight difference, also the drones are here. They keep up that pretense for, like, 2 real levels, like 2 or 3, your little, like, fight in space and then on Earth. And then they just completely throw it out of gear, and the game just keeps being weird twists upon its own established precedent. Like, then you're fighting as the Arbiter, who, to keep things from getting too weird, is still fighting the classic lineup, though. He fights elites and grunts. And then Sentinels and Flood show up, and you get kind of an accelerated endgame of elites, grunts, Sentinels, Flood, all fighting in this insane clusterfuck, which has this climax of the hero fighting alone. And then things just keep getting weirder. You're the Chief again, and you have another Halo landfall. Again, we're echoing the first game, but you know, it could almost have been made out of spare parts of the first game, which is what this whole game could have been. Your next... how that whole level is a scrapped premise from the first game, which is a level about assassinating a prophet. But yeah, that's kind of your last, like, okay, here is Halo 2 being roughly what you expected. After that we get thrown into the library with the Arbiter, but I suppose, again, that's kind of the first game, but a bit different. Like, hey, it's the same level, but you're an elite. But then again, like, you stack it all up, and there have been, like, 2 little arcs of playing the game as the Chief fighting the Covenant, and now you have him again, and we're fighting the Covenant Civil War. And I'll just spoil now, there is only 1 Master Chief level left in this game, so he really has, like, 3 little acts of stuff happening to him. And again, like, if you look at the production materials, especially, like, retrospective stuff, like, Joseph Staten just says, like, yeah, in my mind, like, this was kind of the Arbiter's story and the Arbiter's game, and we just kind of, like, push his role into greater and greater importance and prominence, and yeah, it's just his story. Like, what is the Chief doing? He has these moments which are kind of iterating on the first game, but getting weirder and more complex, and then all of these weird, like, completely redefining things, revolutionary developments occur when you're playing as the Arbiter, who... again, like, they didn't market the game around him or anything. That's just awesome, just throwing that at people. Whoop, physics! Who needs Half-Life 2? But, yeah, what was the other thing I was going to say? Just, Master Chief, 3 real acts of stuff, Earth, Delta Halo here. I was gonna say something else, it'll come to me. But yeah, what's happening now? A bit more cycling through this stuff, no problem. Yeah, in general, I'm just very impressed with and pleased with the fact that this game just really had the balls to not be obliged to just be a gauntlet of more Halo stuff. Swords all over the joint up here. Yeah, they're breaking open all the weapons.
Elites are falling back to the mausoleum. Fools! Their Arbiter can do nothing for them now.
Who would doubt the prophets? What have we foretold that has not come to pass?
Yes, there's some more Radio Hutu for you coming from the prophets and the brutes. They're truly cutting the tall trees now. And these grunts don't really seem to have a dog in this fight, but they're still getting slaughtered by brutes. I don't think they made a real principled stand to fight with their elite buddies. I think the brutes are just dicks and the grunts are having a bad day. Yeah, he had to... this guy just hates grunts so much, he had to stop chasing me, the, like, real threat here, to just go punch the last grunt to death. None of them are getting away. Poor little bastards. Like, really, just think about it. There is no, like, game challenge to this scene. This whole room was just put in because they basically wanted to make, like, a little movie scenario, comic panel, anime scene, whatever you want to call it. Like, the point of that room was the premise. The point was what could play out in story terms, not any game challenge. And I just think that's great that Bungie do that. Like, Here is a room that exists solely to point out the relationship with the brutes and the grunts at this point. And you just get two berserking brutes, a bunch of panicked grunts, and they just fucking crump them for no reason. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, what do we got over there? And what are those strange shrieking noises? What could those be? They seem to be coming from where Miranda Keyes crashed her ship. Wonder what's going on there. Oh well, I'm sure we can handle it. We got a sword. Master Chief with a sword. That's so fucking anime. That's so awesome. That's just like... Again, in terms of like Bungie just giving you the cool stuff, like I'm sure that's something that would be considered like so cool people wouldn't dare think it back in the original, like between Halo 1 and 2, like if you said like, you know, what are some cool things that had happened, someone might say like, oh, what if we could use the swords, but that's probably the kind of thing a game wouldn't let you do. But then, you know, Bungie, they just deliver, like yeah, you get a sword, and not just as the Arbiter, like yeah, the Master Chief, that guy you love, he just picks up an alien sword and you just kick ass with that, why not? Fucking awesome. Master Chief, he's like the Arbiter with the USP. The Chief just knows what to do. He picks this thing up and he's in the zone. I should look at one of these outdoor areas with the... it's okay. The distance shooting looks pretty good in new graphics. Again, we just have to keep giving them that. That's like the thing they really do nicely. The like really strong lights being cast against shadow works really well when plasma weapons are going off in dark places. That is really the one place where I would say the new approach works, and I'm sure like when they were building this remake, like on their whiteboard in big letters, they're like excited about that, like plasma weapons will look super bright in dark places, and it's like, yeah, they do, just why does the Marine have like a little baby head? And in general, kind of, you know, you could have done more color, that would have made me happy. But this isn't a complaining series, this isn't Halo 4, this is not a great betrayal, it's just kind of okay. I prefer Halo 2 as it is originally, as I keep saying. Whoop. Yeah, even on normal, you can't get too complacent with those guys. When they just freak out and start coming, even if you have a good weapon, they can kind of get on top of and under you, and they're just kind of freaking out like that. Don't worry, Grunt, I got you. Man, look at that little shit go once I saved him. And he's a Spec Ops Grunt, so he fucking like fans the trigger on that thing. Grunt with no name. Look at him go. Beep, 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 beep. And he's rapid firing. Oh, you overheated though. Where are you going? It's alright, you all hear the screaming in the distance. He wasn't going to live long anyway. And you can tell yourself the same thing about your Marines as well. No one on High Charity is long for this world. Oh yeah, trying to fight 2-on-1 with the sword, that's just a bad idea. Oh my god, how long did I go without a fucking checkpoint? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't remember it doing this much, but Halo can do this. Oh well, not a particularly difficult game, even on Legendary. Wait, this one is bad on Legendary, sorry. All the others are fine. If you're going to play Halo 2, I do not recommend it on Legendary. All of the others can be pretty interesting that way. And this is back to where we were, I think. Yeah, this whole encounter. Give me your gun. That one made a funny noise when it died. Where are you going? Now, I suppose I should try to let them kill each other as much as I can. Or are the brutes and such not going to spawn until I get closer? Well, there's one around here. He's fighting a grunt, probably about to rip his head off. Where's he going? Oh, did they kill each other? That's interesting. Yeah, it's never going to make great differences, but you can get some weird dynamic behavior coming out. Like, I don't know what happened here to kill both of them, that he was getting shot at there, and I don't know, I guess I have to figure, like, the grunt, yeah, did that to the brute, and then the brute punched him, and then the brute exploded. That's my best working theory on how they both managed to die there. Were there more brutes who appeared around here, or did the... Oh, yep, there they are. I was thinking, did the classic Covenant just kind of pull a win, but no. And yes, the sides that have kind of emerged in this level, I think, are the Brutes and the Jackals are one side, the Elites and the Grunts are another, and the Hunters are just fighting everybody. They're not having this. They don't sanction this buffoonery. Oh, come on. Missed the last very important shot. Whoa. And he's not a fan of me up there. Yeah, so much for this shitty gun. What else have we got? That brute dropped a carbine for me. Thank you. And I'm getting shot at from all over the place. The classic Covenant are doing quite strong here. Yeah, I don't think he meant to dive down after me, but he had a good thing going with shooting from up there with that. This might be a good time for these, actually, yes. 2 red ones, that'll fucking bury classic Covenant who come for us. Now, where are those 2 invisible pricks? There they are. Oh no. Yep, back up, that's it. Got one. Did they have cool, like, undersuits in this game as well? How they were like that in the first game as well. They had, like, a distinct color scheme if they were the camo elites, but yeah, just, well, I guess in both it's really well done. It just gives off a cool impression that they're very different. Oh god, don't kill me again. I don't want to have to, like, go back 5 minutes to the last checkpoint. Yeah, okay, truce, me and you guys, elites. We're all gonna go back till our shields come back. There we go. It's just one, I got him. Yeah, cool, like, black armored elite. Or white, I suppose it's fine, but... yes, the color standards are really cool in the first game because the, like, metallic effect with each color on top makes a super distinct impression. They all kind of blend together a bit more here. The color palette is a bit more natural, which means that the contrasts are less extreme, but I do still consider it really cool that, like, yeah, like, regular elite and special camo elite here. And yeah, you can definitely see the differences if you have this graphic setting on, but yeah, like, line them all up in a row, like, they look kind of silly and the difference is kind of lame. Like, the colors are distinct, but they're also plastic and so just, like, not visually super interesting, whereas, yes, like, this weird kind of, like, yes, very processed, molded, kind of organic-looking bodysuit. The different color schemes applied to that still create an effect that I find, yeah, it's just distinct and interesting to look at. Whereas, yeah, just like the boring plastic shells, they became less interesting. And yeah, as you can see, shit is all tipped over, they're forming barricades and stuff. The conflict has been going for a while now. Like, in plot terms, like, yes, everyone knows what's happening in High Charity now. Barricades are up, people are all grabbing their weapons, it's on. Oop. Credit to that guy, he was genuinely camouflaged. And I guess we'll take 2 of these for the minute. What's going on in here? Grunts. Fine, we can deal with them. Yeah, we might just play through a bit of the game now. No need for any stop commentary here. You know what I like about this level. And it's all happening. Now this thing, that red one overheats super goddamn quick. Oh yeah, I forgot Jackal's to the other side. He drops down to shoot at him. Oh man, other side is here. Any elites or grunts here who want to help me? He shouldn't have stopped to do that cool point animation. Gave me the opening I needed. What was that? Just the sound of that door opening? Very good. Okay, we killed absolutely everything in that room. And I have no ammo.
We're going to catch Truth. We'll need to take a shortcut. Straight through the mausoleum. Look on the bright side. For now, they seem much more interested in killing each other.
Classic Cortana line there. Look on the bright side, they seem more interested in killing each other. They do, again, a very good job of writing kind of nerd humor into this game, only, yeah, it's kind of pre-fall nerd humor where it's still, like, there is wit that doesn't compromise the characterization or depth of humanity underneath, I can still take Cortana seriously with lines like that that are meant to be funny. Oh, that's a, yeah, here we go. Brute elite fight. This last brute has decided he's got it in for me rather than them. Whatever. You die. Where'd he go? Okay, now drones are fighting the elites. Good, good. Actually, yeah, I want this. I'll clean up whoever wins. Give the drones some help. I think they were losing. Come on, drone comrades, we can do it. Is that one enemy left? Perfect. Did I get him? I think I did. Yes, very interesting kind of one-of-a-kind scenarios in this level. The entire Covenant fucking destroying itself every time you walk into a room. It's like a different roulette result of different Covenant forces all stacked up, and, you know, maybe you've got brutes fighting elites, drones flying around. It's just great. This level's a really interesting and dynamic clusterfuck of crazy stuff going on. I'll take out that turret. Just grenade them because they're all a massive group. Oh shit, and there's hunters. And they seem to have it in for everyone. Yeah, those drones aren't popular, but I think they're on Team Brute. Ooh. Come on. Yeah, got them both. Grunt and 2 elites, we're fine. We're laughing. Another grunt, they're good at hiding. And 1 elite hiding behind that thing. Let's go get him. Yeah, again, Halo is a game that, like Fear, has a lot of like really intelligent, emergent behaviors, just, again, not showy about it. Bungie aren't like that, so, you know, that elite doesn't say like, I am taking cover to preserve myself. He just does it, and it's very cool, but, you know, this is not going down in like anybody's, except for mine's, like Hall of Fame of games with great AI, because, yeah, as we know, in the kind of average gamer brain, great AI is when the game tells you that it is doing things, rather than, you know, it actually does things because people are stupid. And if you've played Halo Infinite, you'll know that, of course, this is what they eventually did. That specifically, I think, is the reason why all of the Covenant speak English in Halo Infinite, so that they can all do, like, Fear AI callouts and go like, I am going to lay covering fire, you flank around. So that, you know, the idiotic Pombero creatures who play Halo Infinite, they play that game and they think, wow, look, the game is doing an artificial intelligence. 343 sure have come a long way and made a smarter game. Well, I don't know if anyone really thought that. I think they'd really burned all good faith by that point, but still, I think a lot of people were probably kept engaged by that. Like, that game has forced subtitles, I think, or at least they start on, and they come up for like everything the enemies say, so constantly that's coming up on the like bottom third of your screen. It's like, I am flanking, I am taking cover for my shields to regenerate, and the game is just like constantly trying to assure you that the enemies are intelligent, whereas, yeah, Halo 2 just all class, they do all kinds of stuff, and
Consider sitting this one out.
yeah, that's a great line from, another great line from Cortana, that kind of like 90s nerd wit. Like, that's like something out of that's like something out of the X-Files, is about like the level of nerd culture we're drawing from. And yeah, I think this is, yeah, this is the mausoleum. If you, oh, and there it is, the classic Breaking Benjamin as well. But yes, if you look there, that's where the Arbiter grabbed his suit from. It's currently empty because, of course, the Arbiter is not here, and he is not being recovered for the next guy to wear the armor, or they haven't made a new suit, or brought an old suit out of retirement again, however they do that. It's empty as a kind of a reminder that, yes, we're playing 2 parallel stories and they do intersect, and this is a more thoughtful way to do it, I think, than having you go through, like, and fight in the same area. That instead what they've done is they've taken you to where a cutscene for the Arbiter happened. Because, yeah, that's where his armor emerged. What would you have your Arbiter do? That was right here. And all of those pods in the walls are the last dead Arbiters. because as Cortana said, we're taking a shortcut through the mausoleum. And the mausoleum was like race war ground zero for the Covenant. And we've got the, like, elite commander ranks in their white shooting down at brutes.
Hang on. I'm picking up 2 more transponders. It's the Commander and Johnson. They're closing on Truth's position, Chief. They'll need your help.
God, are you guys listening to this music? I'll, like, turn it up in post so you can hear it at this part, but... Like, yeah, this is important just because you need to understand that this is where the surrounding culture was at. These are the people who Bungie had to meet when they made this game. It's not like the 2020s where, like, people want to be as autistic as possible and convince themselves to the point where they'll, like, create false, deeply nerdy genealogies behind a thing so that they can feel initiated. Like, no, that's like the opposite of where we were now, where, like, no, a deep thing has to be sold to idiots and they have to be kind of reassured on some level that it's idiotic. So, you know, the script has to be kept simple, and at least once in the game, it actually happens at several points, we need Breaking Benjamin to come in with the butt rock guitars so that the stupids don't get scared and confused. Huh? Plot? Who's Miranda and Johnson, huh? And then they hear the butt rock guitars and they're reassured. Oh, okay, this game is for me. Yeah, rock on. I'm gonna go fight on a war in the Middle East. Very entertaining kind of cultural relic. Now, what's happening here? We just gotta...
This isn't good. I am getting confirmed reports of flood leaving in Amberclad's wreckage. Let's get the index and find a way out of here before things get really ugly.
And yeah, they hinted at that before with the screams and such, and now they just tell you that yes, in Amberclad landed and it was hijacked by the flood. They have crashed that thing into the Covenant capital. That is very, very bad. So far we've only seen very limited flood outbreaks. And yeah, they understand on some level that they need humans to work this stuff.
Rest on your shoulders, Chieftain.
My faith is strong. I will not fail.
And Truth and Tartarus really don't give a fuck about High Charity, they're just gonna leave. And yep, here they come. Oh shit! And yeah, that's how dangerous the Flood are. They failed to protect one of the 2 remaining popes.
The great journey awaits for no one, brother.
Fucking ice cold. And yeah, it was supposed to be such a, like, outrage that a prophet could be killed, and then, like, yeah, like, hours into the job, or like a day or so, another prophet gets killed right in front of his brute bodyguards. Regret got killed by the goddamn Master Chief, and Mercy just jobbed to a goddamn flood infection form. That's how dangerous those bastards are. And at the same time, you see that Truth is really callous and out for himself, and the brutes, they're kind of bound to this end game as well. That's where the plot is going. Again, this game really... Oh god, this level is beautiful. This game really benefits from being played in one big rush so that you can really appreciate that events are happening close together in a very short time frame. Like, this game takes place over like a day, and that's important because, yes, it's like everything coming to a head for the civilization very, very, very quickly. Ah, but it looks fucking cool as well. But yes, I was saying there's a bit of Yukikaze in Delta Halo, but I was saying we weren't done with that because, oh my fucking god, Uprising is the most, like, beautifully Yukikaze maxed moment in the game. And we have one more level in this biome, area, scenario, time of day, but this is just fucking beautiful. Like, the sun punching through the overcast, the kind of grey, cold day ocean, the stark stone cliffs, and we get the, like, sad Marty choir effect coming in. Little birds in the distance. Just that sad, drab, natural color palette. This is my, like, favorite part in the game. I just think that Yeah, Halo 2 is fucking beautiful, and like, my case is this level. Oh look, Elite Blood, by the way. And what happens if we turn on no fun vision? Give it a moment to process. Sure hope I don't crash the computer now. We'll be right, the game just has to load like the entire level worth of stuff. It takes a bit the first time. Right, game. There we go, bloody hell, I was concerned. And yeah, here it is again, and yeah, like we don't get the beams coming down, the colors are less of like a yellow, gray, gold to like gray, blue palette, and more just like more of the same like purple and concrete whites. That facility looks less eerie and less harmonizing with it. You know what I mean, just I really love how this specifically looks. I don't love this. It's less desolate, it's less visually sad, despite being more washed out and desaturated. Like, no, this is actually an image with a kind of comforting, filled out sense of kind of... There's almost a gold warmth to it, even though the scene it is presenting is obviously meant to be kind of like thematically cold. And yeah, this is another place where fighting has broken out on Delta Halo. Elites and brutes were down here. And yeah, in this place there was a clash and the brutes cleaned up. Who are you calling, weakling? But yeah, all of our poor elite buddies.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, like this is a like genuine like race war aftermath scene. Like our elite buddies didn't see this coming apparently and just yeah, Arbiter got knocked into the pit and after that they just started killing all the elites everywhere. But we get our revenge hits in now. Yeah, that's for all these guys. Not letting these bastards get away with it, are we? So yeah, this is a like very violent sequence. They give you the sword and want you to go nuts, but the Mardi Choir doesn't let up. This is a gloomy level, which is also full of action. It's a nice little contrast we have going. Just a very memorable level.
By the prophets, what have these brutes done? They have shed our brother's blood.
And yeah, they haven't won everywhere. They cleaned up that group of elites, but yeah, we got brothers all over the joints.
So much for a stealthy advance. Ah, over so soon?
I think the script might have gone a bit funny there, but we're meant to be meeting more elites as we go. And look, grunts, and they're not gonna fight us. But the jackals are, so I guess they die too. So here's this guy with a sword and just... Oh yeah, they said a zealot, so much for stealth, and that was meant to be announcing this guy. That yes, the gold elites from the first game, we got one of them with us. Again, that's just a cool Bungie thing, that he was like your big bad boss in the first game who you're afraid of, and now at the end of this one, the gold elite shows up and he's like talking shit because he's about to fight with you. Like, yeah, let's go get him. The zealot who just beats your ass in the first game and chases you down with that sword, he's now part of like a mob of friendly units, and that's how Halo 2 ends. This is Halo 2's endgame, the goddamn forward. Yeah, we get to see the kind of momentum go the other way in that big Civil War plot. And we get these retarded little grunts participating as well. See if we can keep any of them alive. But yeah, this level's just fucking crazy. Like, we get so many allies and the battle scenes are just huge. Like, it's like Halo 3, but a bit more considered with a bit more weight. There's more interesting stuff going on, but like, yeah, this level really more than any other feels like they're pushing the engine to its limits, just thinking like, How hard can we just like mob up a scene and make cool shit happen, like as much as we can think of? And so yeah, here we go. Uprising, it begins. 2 grunts, 2 sword elites, one of them's a zealot, and 2 regular guys. Let's go get 'em, team. And yeah, give me 1 second to embarrass Zealot with his little, like... Look, now he's a speed cycling enthusiast. Look how aerodynamic he is. No, now he's a badass, like a slightly rationalized successor to that, like, golden god from the first game. The sword is more legible, his silhouette is a bit less psychotic, but he's still cool and alien looking rather than a guy in a dumb plastic shell of armor. And yeah, the fights just keep going. Ooh, well, that thing was explosive. Yeah, the cover... My buddies outlived me that time. Don't take cover behind that, bro. And yeah, this level's just fucking awesome. Look at that, we get to bust into a room with sword elites and just kill everything. Gee, that guy scared me shitless. I just like turned to face the door and it's like vroom. Brutes are fun as well, just a weird chaotic element in every fight. And yeah, this level is really like not meant to be hard, I don't think. This level is just all about building a death squad of friendly units who are really strong and just cleaning up this scenario after they hype you up to be mad at the brutes. You know, they take credit for your work, they knock the Arbiter into a pit, they kill the elites who've been humanized all game and made to look fairly noble and agreeable, while these guys are just like cowardly, lying assholes who are like idiots strong and nothing else. They're like the perfect like bad stereotypical barbarians. They're very easy to hate, the brutes. They're just not likable guys. These big, retarded, evil Chewbacca, Sasquatch with a gun things. Whoa! And yeah, there's another one with one of their stupid native guns. The elites, they use swords. They're samurai. These guys use like retarded redneck engineering in the shed kind of thing. Their weapons just are like improvised junk made to throw as much explosive raw power around as possible. Very funny. And in Halo 3 they get a bit more gear, which kind of fleshes out their philosophy and approach to building. The idea isn't that they're so dumb they can't build anything, but kind of, if you look at what they make, the idea is you can see they're just kind of like not responsible or high-minded people. I think the official Bungie lore, it might be Bungie lore, it might be 343, I don't know, but there's this story I've read that like the idea is that the brutes were a post-apocalyptic civilization when the Covenant found them because they actually, you know, they had their own industrial revolution and everything, and then what happened was they invented nukes and they were not responsible enough to handle them, so they annihilated themselves. And so they're like, their society is like Mad Max with gorilla men, and that's how the prophets find them and think, great, these guys will be awesome new members for the team. These guys who like blew up their own planet and sabotaged their own potential to get into space. Oh man, they killed another one of my elite buddies. Oh, and me. Too many explosions going off. There's some funny Halo 2 ragdolls for you. Alright, let's try that again. Come on, elite, we got this. Me and this plasma rifle guy. I don't know where the rest went. Oh hey, look, a grunt. Oh, and one of these. Handy. But yes, this game really is the, like, humanizing the elites game, and again, if you think about it, they are, like, only a pure enemy for, like, one sequence proper, like the attack on Earth sequence is the only place where the circumstances are roughly those of Halo 1, and then things just get more and more grey and you know, we fight them again on Delta Halo, but we think differently, and then after that, even if we fight them a bit more in High Charity, like, everything is just mixing up and they're rapidly becoming the sympathetic, noble aliens, and yes, Halo 2 is just obviously all about that, and the lines that they have, even during the Earth segment, the elites, just the fact they speak English, of course, just makes them that much more familiar already, but also the characterization that comes through, like, they're just meant to be kind of like a balance of kind of light and familiar. They're meant to be like the Marines, basically. Like, the elites have a few lines that are kind of silly, but I think they balance it quite well. And here's the next segment of Uprising. A vehicle is here. I hope I didn't friendly fire him. I may have. But yeah, this now becomes a vehicle convoy level. No grunt, that's mine. I do appreciate that grunts can fly ghosts. And, yes, even in Halo Combat Evolved, Marines actually can drive some vehicles. Specifically, Marines will drive ghosts independently. I think that's quite funny and awesome. Okay, people, let's go. I'll take a ghost, everyone else takes nothing. And yeah, here's a little fight scenario. You can probably drive through this if you want, but where's the fun in that? My buddies are coming, they didn't bother with vehicles, won't need them. He holds still so I can shoot him in the head. He's just too big for that shield, which I think is quite funny, and it's just a kind of joke that just emerges within the game, that brutes don't fit Covenant technology, and that one actually, I was able to kill him because he was operating something that he is just too fucking thug, big, stupid to, you know, use elegantly. That when he tries to hide behind that shield, get him, Elite! He, yeah, his head sticks out, so I just fucking kill him easy. Good job, Elite. You saw there, that's something that they were advertising as far back as, like, the E3 build, which was kind of all fake, that, yeah, vehicle hijacking. Whoops. But yes, enemies hijack vehicles, you can just... Again, it's another one of those robust Bungie behaviors. They just build it into the game and let it see what... and wait to see what happens. Brutes can hijack, elites can hijack. So these vehicle fights, they become this weird mess of, like, timing things up so that the... Yeah, like, you aren't guaranteed the win if you're in a vehicle. Whoa! Look at that idiot, thinks he can operate that gun. Okay, let's be a bit more careful this time, not completely piss around. Come on, gotta knock some helmets off. Go, Zealot! Whoa, he got fucking destroyed. There's a grunt and a thingamajig. And berserking brutes, don't fuck with them. We lost the Zealot again. And they have their brute shots, their retarded explosive grenade launchers. Oh, two ghost grunts. We're dual wielding them. That's our counter to the brute shots and their berserk grunt heavy weapons. I'm gonna die again, aren't I? Nope, got him. Protect me, grunts. Come on, where'd he go? Did I get him? I think I did. This thing's out of thingers. What else have we got? Yeah, things were alright here, all things considered. We're still in a nice environment, even though, you know, the flood broke out around the library, and presumably there's more of them in different places. This whole, you know, installation is not safe, but for the minute, this is just a civil war zone. Gee, the Arbiter's armor I don't like as much either. It's just... Again, like, why is that pauldron fucking gigantic? And again, like, just all the lights beaming down, it's still roughly the same, but, like, the music is louder as well. Like, no, this is meant to be a melancholy scene. That's how Delta... That's the whole tone of Delta Halo. It's, like, cloudy, sad, gloomy day. But this, they just, like, pull it as far back to sunny as they can get away with. Like, no, it's not meant to be sunny, it's Delta Halo, stop that. Yeah, get him. Go grunt, me and you. Here's another stupid little arena to fight in ghosts in. Because really, the game doesn't give you much of a ghost opportunity at this point. In general, it's weird to think about in kind of the abstract that Halo 2 is just a very, like, short game with a very limited amount of time to mess with all of its bits, which I suppose means it keeps things kind of interesting. But, you know. Oh no, they killed one of my grunts. That jackals are such pricks. Get him, turret grunt. Yeah, that's it. Walk onto the target. Oh, now you overdid it. There we go. Yeah, kill those shits. But yeah, like, this is our, like, one real, like, beyond that brief bit at Quarantine Zone, here's our, like, Covenant vehicle fight. And it's not that complex, I guess, but, yeah, I had fun before with my Elite Murder Squad, and I don't mind my little, like, driving ghosts with my grunt pals sequences either. But yes, I don't think your, like, elite buddies are really meant to follow you here. You just kind of, like, go into each... Ooh! Guess I overdid that, huh? Funny little physics quirk there. Oh shit, where were you last time? I guess we might have just passed each other, I don't know. Well, I guess I could have stolen that and used it if I had elites around. But I don't seem to, so I'm not too sore on the loss. Let's take a clean one of these. And yeah, this is just a fun level, all about just giving you the Arbiter's perspective of the Civil War as that breaks out, and giving you an excuse to do fun things with Covenant stuff before the game ends and we have obligations to meet. This is really kind of a unnecessary level. It's just Arbiter getting from A to B, but you know, it would be a bit of a shame if we went through this story and didn't get a level of Arbiter just doing cool stuff that's enabled by the premise of a Covenant Civil War. So yeah, here's your level, which is all just about the Arbiter gets in a swarm of sword elites and they fight a bunch of brutes. The Arbiter gets into different Covenant vehicle fights. Just all of that cool stuff happening with no other things to fuss about. What's happening in the greater plot for Halo? Don't sweat at this minute. Where even is the Arbiter? Gravemind said he'd send us somewhere potentially useful. He might have misread that a bit. Looks like the Master Chief was in the more useful spot. But we're in a good position to just kill a shitload of brutes, and none of the other elites are asking questions, so let's just go. Let's not boost over those so I don't hit critical velocity and kill myself. Fight Club. That's just a funny thing to call this sequence. Again, just funny old school nerd humor from Bungie. Before being a nerd was a completely poisoned thing. Whoa! Come on, what do we got? Nope, that's not good. Alright, I gotta hijack this. There we go. That's right, don't shoot it. Your buddy's here. Oh wait, I forgot to do this. Yeah, plant the grenade, kill the driver, steal it. There we go, that's dynamic, evolved combat for you right there. That's just all the, like, back-of-the-box hype trailer features at once. Hijack vehicles, drop a bomb in it, turn it around. That's how you sell Halo 2 to stupid people. And I can fire quicker because I'm the main character. Screw him. And I'm taking damage inside this thing, so I gotta find those guys. That was the second Jackal Sniper. Where'd he go? Anyway, there's cool stuff to look at in those indoor areas, so we're definitely gonna do that. We'll clean him up, though. Did I get him? No. Alright, he can have some of this. There it is, that's what I wanted to show you guys for a while. Look what this brute was holding. How did this get here? Is that like a bug in Bungie's code? No, I'll show you as we go a little bit further. Yeah, here we go. This is a very fun detail they just worked in towards the end of the game. Caches of human weapons next to distinctly brute ones. What's going on? Well, it becomes more clear if we just keep going a bit more, but you can already tell where we're going. Let me just go through this room up here. Did I get all of them? I think so. Oh hey, is there a friendly who's shown up? Oh yeah, it's the elite drop pods. Look out, elite, you're getting chased. Yes, there we go. Yes, more elite buddies are dropping in from above, and I just want to get to this next fucking area so I can show you what Bungie put behind that door. Come on, what you got? No fucking way, you just got both of them. That berserking brutes in this game are fucking insane, and unfortunately they're never that extreme in the later ones, because in this game they're serving the role of like weird late game power-up twist enemy. And then in successor Halos they have to do more of like a... They basically fill the role of the elites as like the main enemy you fight, which means they have to be made more boring and less dramatic. But yeah, here is the alien armory of basically more specifically a brute one. And look, they're collecting weapons that interest them, which means, yeah, just the practical useful stuff with an emphasis on explosives. But they've also been looking through captured human stuff, and yeah, look at which ones they picked out that they liked, because they're the retarded brutes. They love shotguns and they love rocket launchers, which does just make sense because they're the retarded gorillas who love explosive power, so they think, yeah, like tube full of explosion and shrapnel, that's fucking awesome. Tube that shoots a giant exploding rocket, that's awesome. That's the mind of a brute. And here's something funny. Beans with rice and bacon, beef stew with lumpy gravy. Apparently the brutes also think that's fucking awesome because they're keeping that stored here as well. Just very funny, like they could have made it a spread of all human stuff, but they thought it out, like just this last end bit, they thought, hey, we can give Covenant human weapons, is there anything we can do with that? Elites wouldn't use them, but if you think about it, maybe the brutes. And that just kind of culminates in this semi-joke of a room, which is, yeah, just something I really enjoy. I find it funny. Oh, there's more ration names. Peach dessert, salty, and... oh, that's another beans, rice, and bacon. Oh, is that another one? Pork ribs, boneless in barbecue. Yeah, I bet the brutes like that one. We're not so different, maybe. Oh, and there were frag grenades in there. They apparently like these as well. Because, yeah, they actually use something like frag grenades in their own native weaponry. That's a grenade launcher built by them there. The only, like, low-tech Covenant weapon. Did I? No, I've still got my beam rifle. Didn't put it away. Got both of them. Whoa. Man, these bastards are persistent. Okay, he just trashed his thing though, so I'm fine. These guys can get shotgunned by the Arbiter. Yeah, it's just, again, Covenant firing these weapons really inherently funny to me. The Arbiter just stacking up his shotgun shells, he knows what to do. Oh, come on, what you got? Yeah, that's always fun to do. And here we go. Well, I think he just stuck a grenade on one of his own pals. Good job. Yeah, just very funny shit happens all the time in Halo because so much of the game just is just shit happening in their engine. Okay, and that's that level done. That was... that level's just a good bit of fun. My favorite part is just when you stack up with the sword elites, but there's a lot happening. And rather than the shotgun, the game made me face him with the beam rifle. Whatever. Hey, it's that guy.
Arbiter, the counselors, are they murdered by the brutes? Vile beasts. The prophets were fools to trust them.
And there we go, that's the control room of this ring, like the control room in the last game. Or maybe not quite. And, oh shit, he's got the Index, he's got Spark, he's got Commander Keys. And yeah, they're almost ready to go. And yeah, so the Arbiter is now in the position to stop this. Chief and Arbiter get split up to intercept. Chief is just too late. Arbiter's now in time to stop it on the ground. But what happens to the Master Chief? Well, we got 2 levels left, and at the rate we've been going, I think that means 1 episode left, so... yeah, what happened to the Chief? Find out next episode, and we'll end Halo 2. The last truly great Bungie game. And that should be quite a big thing. We can talk all about the production, the ending, and lead into Halo 3, which I might play soon as well.
Finish what we started. And this time, none of you will be left behind.
Yeesh.
That structure in the center of the city, it's a Forerunner ship. And Truth is heading straight for it. If he leads the Covenant fleet to Earth, they won't stand a chance. You have to stop him.
That brute has the Index. And Miranda and Johnson. He can activate the ring.
If he does, I'll detonate in Amberclad's reactor just like we did the Autumns. The blast will destroy this city and the ring. Not a very original plan, but we know it'll work. No, I don't want to chance a remote detonation. I need to stay here.
And again, we're playing with the idea of things playing out like Halo 1, but a bit different. And there is an in amber-clad pelican, but yeah, the Marines all fucking died a while back, so... yeah, we were playing the Civil War on High Charity last level. Now we're playing the, you know, zombie outbreak apocalypse on High Charity.
That creature beneath the library, that grave mind, used us. We were just a diversion. In Amberclad was always its intended vector.
Yes, I'll quickly play this out.
Head back inside. I'll lead you to it.
And yeah, this is actually, again, if you think about how the game is divided, the Chief hasn't seen the Flood again in Halo 2 until this point right here. And this is actually his only contact with them all game. The Chief really doesn't do a lot. He's kind of falling behind and getting kind of thrown out of the loop on things as stuff just kind of happens beyond his power. But yeah, here goes the, like, you saw those pelicans going down. It's the... okay, interestingly oh no, for a second I thought they misted the hell out of that whole scene there, and I would have found that quite striking if they did that in new graphics, but no, it just looks like it did last level. No, like, crazy fires or explosions breaking out or anything. We're still kind of early moments, but yes, the Covenant capital city is getting hit by a zombie apocalypse scenario now. They've gone from civil war to something actually worse than that. And yeah, our buddy the Prophet of Regret had his throat ripped open by an infection form that was trying to turn him into a zombie. And yeah, Prophet of Truth, while Tartarus activates Halo, Truth is going for something on Earth. What could that be? And we have to get out of here, and if this thing is going to Earth and going to be a problem, we blow that up. It's all coming to a head. And next episode we'll talk about how this game wasn't meant to end here. Halo 3 is kind of the last act of this intended story, and yeah, we'll talk about the structural weirdness of both Halo 2 and 3, which comes from this game not quite being finished as it was meant to be, and things they allude to and set up here, and how they aren't 100% like what was planned, but, you know, we'll go into the original Halo 2 script, which was the whole complete Halo saga finished, how that kind of gets modified for Halo 3, best explained with a playthrough of that game, and yeah, there's just stuff to look forward to. I just wanted to get the Flood off our back and explain that real quick, and yeah, so still stuff to look forward to. We've got the dramatic finale of Halo 2 coming. 2 more levels, some cool stuff happening. I actually think the next level, it's still got some cool Uprising stuff going on. Here, you get to see the Master Chief fight the Flood and not a lot else, but it's something. It kind of bridges the story. It's something that has to happen. It's kind of the last level backwards, but with Flood, which is, again, something that the, something Halo Combat Evolved did. Here's your throwback again. The Master Chief has to go back through a place under much worse circumstances. Again, I just really like thinking about that, how this game is like Halo 1 but different. It's just a very interesting sequel to think about. Very, very well done. It's just very pleasant to go through. I am Halo 1's strongest soldier, but I like 2 just fine. I like all Bungie stuff, and I consider this kind of the last true great Bungie game that has all the strengths of a Bungie game. Great times for gaming. But yeah, 2 levels to go. That would be a bit much to do now. We'll call it here. I hope you liked this. Had a pretty good time recording. Questions or thoughts, very happy to answer them. Leave a comment. Thank you.